Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Tiffany T, and I'm here with Dino Gomez. And you're tuning in to inspiring people doing amazing things in life. And we are so privileged and grateful to have Ailton Caesar with us. And he is going to just tell us a little bit about himself and what he's doing, what he's up to. He's a creative entrepreneur. So I'll let you handle the rest, Ailton, and take it away.
Thank you so much. Well, first and foremost, thank you guys for, reaching out and letting me jump on this. This is my first blab, so this is hopefully I can do more. So I can introduce myself. I like to tell people, I do a lot, first and foremost. So I don't like to give it one specific lane or title. So that's where the whole creative entrepreneur comes in, because, I like to create and I like to help people. I like to, have a business, side of things. So to kind of give you guys the whole, tool house or wheelhouse of Ailton, the creative side is, I love to shoot videos. Videography is my thing. Where's my camera? I have it like on me all day, every day. It's like I call her Vanessa. So that's my thing. I love videos. Right now it's more like on a personal level. It's like a hobby. I have friends that ask me all the time, like, record a video for me, do this. And I'm like, let me, do my projects first. So really just building the YouTube, building my brand, getting, a bunch of different videos out there from, advice, motivation, tips for entrepreneurs, like a little bit of everything. That's, one side of me. I love fashion. Fashion is another passion that I have. So I'm in the modeling industry as well. I've been doing that since I was like 18, and it's finally getting to the new level. And then the way I tie everything together is, business. I love to help people. So I try to find a way to, motivate and inspire individuals to really, become the best possible version of themselves. And I really believe like that's, doing what you love and loving what you do ultimately. So I kind of use the motivational videos and in the videography knack to really put out content to kind of, push people to like, hey, instead of just going with what's comfortable and safe, do that thing that you always think about that you really, really wanted to do no matter what, So I know that was a mouthful. So, that's a little bit of what I do. As far as business as well, I'm in a business where, we teach people just, basics of financial literacy, how to get involved with the markets, whether it's the stock market, the foreign exchange market. So that's, it's a lot. I do a lot.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a busy guy.
Yeah. Well, no, on the creative side of Ailton, it's that's got to keep you busy because shooting video, extremely time consuming. Yes. And so you're doing all that, and you said you're producing content for your channel. That's cool how that overlaps, because you also said you're into fashion. So I imagine there might be you looking fashionable while doing some, like you said, motivational tips that ties back into the business. It's cool because it seems like there's a whole coherency to all that.
Exactly. I was gonna say it comes full circle. It comes full circle. So like whenever people are like, "Oh my God, how do you balance it?" And I'm like, it all connects. It all connects together. Because, I got to look good in the video. So, the fashion side of me kind of helps, right? So in the motivation and just the whole process of, thinking of, okay, what kind of video, what can I make that'll really like click with people and resonate and really get them to get up and get to work, right? So that's, I don't want to say it's easy, but it just comes second nature because, I like to help people. So that kind of just, it's more inspiration. Whenever I have that creative fuel, it's like, all right, let's record a video. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. Let's go. So it's easy for me in a sense, but I definitely struggle sometimes with the balancing of the plate, because then it's like, okay, when do I have time to do this? When do I have time to see my girlfriend? When do I have time to sleep? Or, maybe I should eat something today. That'll be a good idea, So it kind of makes everything, hard, but you figure it out. I feel like that's the part of the journey,
Absolutely.
Awesome. We can tell you're out there hustling, man. So love hearing that. All right, so cool. So we got the intro now. We know what you're into here, Ailton. So we're gonna start hitting you with a couple questions. Wanna dig a little bit deeper, see what's really motivating you, get some insight here. So, yeah, the first question we have for you is, Ailton, what would be your perception of success?
Okay. Good question. My perception of success is, I kind of touched on it, but to get really like deep into it, it's a combination of, being happy with what you're doing, your career, right? It ultimately is balance. I think it all stems down to balance in different areas of your life. So whether it's your career, whether it's your family, whether it's, your physical health, emotional, spiritual, financial, I think it's just having some type of balance between those different areas where, you're happy with what you're doing. You're happy with, your physical health, whether it's, working out, your weight, how you feel. What else did I say? Your relationships, whether it's with your spouse. For some people it's money, but, for me, it's just having balance and being comfortable with, do I feel good? Like, am I healthy? Do I work out enough? Do I make enough money to support the lifestyle that I live? Because, to be honest, I like to buy things. So, if I need a new camera lens, do I have enough money? Can I afford this camera lens? If I want to move out to New York and have a nice, loft, can I afford that? So I feel like success isn't really like a destination. It's more like, it's a state of mind. It's like a time frame almost. It could be like, you could say you're successful now, and then maybe you drop it, but then you become successful again. And then, it's an ongoing like chase for it. So for me, it's kind of ultimately, to tie it all in, it's a balance of different areas of your life, and really, choosing to say, I'm happy and content with all these different areas. If that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. I love your perspective. And then the next question is, what is your perception of happiness?
Happiness. Okay. So, okay, let me think of this one. Happiness, I would say, for me, I'm genuinely happy when, I love family. Family is huge for me. So, if I can be around family, or if I can be around people who connect with me, right? I'm happy when I'm around like-minded people. I'm happy when my friends are happy, my loved ones are happy. So it could be a combination of, good vibes and, being around people I care about. So that kind of all ties in, for Ailton, in a sense.
I love it.
Awesome. Well, it's yeah, there's kind of an overlaying theme here, Ailton, that seems for you is it's all about balance. We keep hearing, it's not one destination, a certain amount of money, or doing a certain cause. It's like having a little bit of it all, having it all, keeping balance, not overboard in one area.
Right. And I feel like I learned that through, my whole journey of life, because I'm 24, so I'm still young. And going through college and doing the whole, working and going to school thing, it kind of helped me figure that all out. Because, it's funny, because I was like I'm turning 25 later this month. So it's my golden year, 25 on the 25th. So I'm like reflecting a lot, and I'm like, wow, 25. So when I was 18, what did I say I was going to do at 25? And it's funny how we all have this like idea, and we're like, when we're 21, we're going to be rock stars. When we're 25, we're going to be like, on top of the world. Life is all figured out. And I'm just thinking back, and I'm like, I've done a lot, really, but am I where I want to be? No. Am I happy? Yes. So, it's all about making sure I'm still growing and progressing, but on the same time, I'm still like hungry for more,
Yes. And I learned today that you and I share the same birthday.
Yes, we do. Happy Leos.
Wait, thank you. And happy birthday to you too. But you're a lot younger than me.
I couldn't tell.
I was gonna say, you two look the same age. I don't know what you're talking about.
I believe
it. Awesome. Well, all right. Well, so what we'll do here is then we'll move on to the third question we have for you, and this one gets people thinking the most. So we're excited to kind of get your feedback here and insight. But Ailton, what would you say is the most profound thing in life, or the most profound experience you've had that's really maybe changed or altered the way you think and the way you live?
Oh wow, that is a tough one. So the most profound like experience or moment that's kind of changed the way I've thought. If I had to choose one, I hate choosing one, as you guys can tell. Every question has been like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if I had to choose one moment, I would say it's been, honestly, it's been the shift of going from like, you know, an employee to an entrepreneur, because, you know, my whole life I've just been working. So, you know, I've had that structure. I've had that like, you know, blueprint of, you know, this is what you're supposed to do. And this is how you do things. But when I like quit my job and really started working for myself and working on my brand and in the modeling, and really creating everything that I wanted to create, it kind of forces you to be so independent. It's like when you know, you're living at home with the parents, but then when you move out, it's like, oh wow, there's a whole new set of problems out there that you didn't even think about. So, you know, for me, it was like that shift. It was like, okay, I really got to like figure this out. If not, I'm not making money. And if I'm not making money, I'm not eating. And, you know, that trickles down a few other things. So like, it forced that moment, I guess, that shift when I said, you know, hey, I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice, and, you know, I'm leaving here to work on me and this and that. It was just an ongoing like boxing match with myself of saying like, okay, this is what I have to do now. I can't really sleep in because there's no time to waste, you know. The bills that are coming in, you know, first of the month, last of the month. And then, you know, to tie in back to my idea of success, it was finding a way to balance that, because, you know, I'm a workaholic. So I need to find a way to spend time with my family, spend time with, you know, my girlfriend and people that I love and people that I care about, because, you know, all these accomplishments and accolades are fantastic. But if my girlfriend's miserable, you know, I'm not doing the right thing, you know. Or if I never see mom or my brothers, then, you know, same thing. It's like, what am I really doing, you know? So it's just that shift into really like, you know, hustling and just that constant grind, but still understanding like, hey, you have a life outside of this. And I think that really hit me last year, because, you know, last year was my first year of being that, you know, solo entrepreneur or creative entrepreneur that I call it, and really trying to find a way to juggle everything. And it hit me hard because, you know, again, they say as an entrepreneur, your calendar is your own boss. So like, you know, having those days when, you know, it's like, oh, there's a family event, and it's like, oh, I can't go because I have to do this. And then it's like your girlfriend, or, you know, maybe for everyone out there tuning in, your spouse, you guys probably can relate. It's like, hey, I want to go out. We haven't done anything. Let's do something. And you're like, holy shit. Or sorry if I swore, guys, but it's like, oh my God, like I haven't seen you in forever. Like, let's go do something, you know? But I guess, yeah, to sum it all up, the most profound moment for me has been like just trying to figure it all out and making that transition of, you know, working for someone and working, you know, on your own, and really just creating that life that you want to create.
It's an awesome answer.
yeah, no, that's cool. That's yeah, I mean, kind of to summarize there again, you were just saying it's kind of having the most profound thing was that realization that as an entrepreneur, you're gonna have to figure out how to roadmap your way to success, which is going to require a lot of extra work. Simultaneously, you wanted to keep that balance, referring back to success and happiness stemming around that balanced lifestyle. So that's tough. That's difficult. We're all entrepreneurs here, so we hear you on that one.
Right. Has anyone ever asked you guys these questions? I've like, you know, I'm new to the Blab. I've seen the YouTube. I didn't get to watch all the videos yet, but I'm curious. I would love to hear like your answers. Do you guys have like an episode with that, or is it just all about me right now?
It's all about you right now, but we'll let you know where to find that.
Yeah. Well, and to answer that, we have actually had somebody turn the question around on us once, and I don't think we were ready for it. We were just sitting back, you know, kind of absorbing their perspective, and all of a sudden they flipped it. So yeah, whoa, what's going on here? But yeah, so we'll spare the audience this time our since we've covered that one before, our perspective on that. But Ailton, man, you've taught us a lot today. You kind of brought it all in. Your response to these questions, I mean, Tiffany, I don't think we've had an answer that's been where it's related all to balance. Everybody always has kind of specific things, it seemed like.
You're definitely very unique, Ailton.
I appreciate it. You know, I think it comes from like, you know, growing up and really like trying to figure everything out. I've always been forced to like, you know, I've never had that mentor up until now. And it's always been like me on my own, just like, hey, go figure it out. So I kind of feel like I've plugged in the pieces, and, you know, I feel like every few years things change, you know, you change as an individual. So I feel like if we did this again in like, you know, a year or 2 years or whatever, or somebody asked me these questions in the near future, it might change. Who knows? But I feel like exactly. It's part of the journey, you know?
Absolutely.
That's cool too, that you recognize it could change and so forth, because yeah, a lot of change out there.
Well, and when you're like on your own, like you said, you know, just doing stuff on your own, you learn and grow so much more, I think, compared to when you are hand fed everything or given everything. You know, you're figuring it out on your own. You're in life, like just living your life, your journey, and your purpose. So that's really cool. So I admire that about you.
Thank you. Yes, definitely. You know, I look at it like this: you're gonna have to work hard. You know, you're gonna have to grind. You're gonna have to hustle at one point in your life, and it's either like now, today, right now, or, you know, 10, 15 years from now, and it's like, oh man, I wish I started. You know, it's like that quote. There's a really big quote. It's like the best time to plant a tree was like 20 years ago, and the best time to plant it is right now. So kind of just have to understand that, you know, you have to really just go full force at these opportunities, at life, at everything that's in front of you. And, you know, not to get too deep into it, but I always tell, like, you know, my friends and people that I used to work with, I'm like, listen, if you're punching in and you're thinking of doing X, Y, and Z while you're here the whole shift, maybe X, Y, and Z is what you need to be doing, you know? Like you guys probably had this idea, and you were like, okay, there's this awesome platform, and we can get all these people on. How do we, you know, get the word out? How do we get everyone connected? And you just went out there and did it, instead of just like, okay, never been done before. How do I figure it out? You go out there and do it. That's all it is. It's like that Shia LaBeouf video. Just do it.
That's right.
Love it.
That's right. Well, Ailton, man, we really appreciate you jumping on, spending some time with us today, and kind of just, you know, opening up our minds, our insight, our perspective to these difficult things here, because we hit you with some tough questions here. And so we would love for people listening in that want to follow you, learn more about you, kind of follow your journey and your brand and your business. Where should they go to kind of keep up with what you're up to?
So I'm like a social media connoisseur. Like, I'm always on Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, everything. So if you guys really check me out on Facebook, you can just type in Ailton Caesar. It's AILTON CEASER. There's not a lot of Ailton spelt with an AIL, so, you know, I should pop up. And for Twitter, for Instagram, for Snapchat, it's the same handle. It's at Mr. Ailton C, so MRAILTONC. And then my YouTube is just like my Facebook, so you guys can check all that out. And I try to make it real easy, because I know I have a unique name. So if you guys just type in Ailton or Mr. Ailton C, you should be able to find me. And yeah, like, I'm very like active on Facebook. I try to live stream. I try to put out content every week. The YouTube, I just launched it, so it's going to be a lot of vlogs, a lot of motivational videos, a lot of, you know, tips and tricks for people who are just starting a business, for people who are just trying to get, you know, financially fit and stable, anything, you know. So I try to give as much value, content, and entertainment all in like one beautiful package. So check it out.
Smart man.
Awesome. I love that you got your brand locked down with all those channels and handles being the same. So that's killer. So well, awesome. You guys all heard it. You can follow and look up Ailton by just typing his name straight into Facebook. Ailton, AILTON Caesar. or you can find him by his handle, Mr. Ailton C. And otherwise, Tiff, do you have anything for our guests and for our audience today?
No, I just thank you so much for your time, Ailton. And it's been a real privilege to have you and contribute to this series. And yeah, I'm grateful that you were able, minus the traffic and everything, able to pull it off. So thank you.
And thank you guys again. This is fun. This is really cool. You know, my first blab, so now I can really like play around and you know, get more familiar with this.
Yeah.
I always say, like, you know, I appreciate your time as well, because, you know, this is awesome. I've never been on like an interview like this, so this is really fun. This is cool. So thank you.
Well, good. That means you'll never forget
it. That's right. You better reference this blab interview, Ailton, when you're out there crushing it out there on stage in a couple of years. So
I'm gonna let everybody know, like, this is what inspired this talk.
That's right. That's it. Well, awesome. Well, again, Ailton, thanks so much for your time, for joining us in, and for everybody else listening in. We really appreciate you guys tuning in to inspiring people doing amazing things. Until next time, I'm Dino Gomez. This is Tiffany Ballard, and we'll catch you guys all in the next episode.
Bye.